Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. So, going through some of your emails that you've sent me, and a couple of you have again asked me when am I going to do my video about what I've done with my home to make it a more therapeutic environment. So I'm doing that tonight. So that's what this video is going to be. But also I have a special announcement to make tonight. So two things. Okay, so this video is going to be what I've done with my home to make it a more therapeutic, calming, relaxing environment. And anything that's calming and relaxing is therapeutic for tinnitus. So this is just some of the things that I've put in place that I've found helpful. So I'll go through that, and then I'll get into this special announcement. But first, let me just show you what I've done with my home, as I say, to make it a more tinnitus-friendly environment. Okay. So one of the first things that I did was to install natural lighting in my living room in the way of candlelight, because I think candlelight is much more relaxing, natural light, much more relaxing than electric light. I find electric light can be quite harsh on the eye, and I think electrical lighting can also sometimes cause you to actually have a headache. So I installed natural lighting with the candles, and I do still have electrical lighting in the house, but I don't use it very often at all. And at night I do like to have the candles on. I find it much more relaxing to have candlelight. So that's one of the things that I did. And also the flickering of the flame itself, I think is, well, it's just nice. I just find it a nice environment with the flickering of the candle. Something else I have on in the evening, I have these incense burners. We just start one up. So I have these. Sorry about the shaky cam work there. Right, so I have that on. You've probably all seen these before. They just put out a nice fragrance, and you can buy different types. I've got a whole pot of them down there, all different flavours. Some are nicer than others. And then there's this one here that I made. I actually made this one myself. So I have those on. They just can give it a nice smell, which I like. A lot of people don't like them, but I do. I find them very relaxing. So there's that. And this is probably, well, not probably, this is something that I'm really happy that I put into place. This is probably my favourite thing that I've done. I found this more helpful than anything. This is a water feature that I put in, a fountain with the sound of the running water, and I think most of us find the sound of running water just very, well, it's just lovely, isn't it? The sound of running water. It's just a nice sound, and I find it therapeutic for tinnitus. And I installed this in a way that the light from the fountain travels up the wall, and onto the ceiling. So it's almost like I have almost like a stream going across my ceiling in the evening time, which I also like. And then I do have this screen, and sometimes I'll actually play videos of waterfalls
At the moment I've got this night sky with the sea underneath it, and sometimes I'll just lay there and I'll fall asleep to this. And of course, the obligatory, and every guy should have one of these. Every guy should have one of these. This is my reclining sofa, which when I lay on this, it's pretty much like being in bed. So there I am in the evening. There I am in the evening, laying on my sofa. More like a bed, isn't it? Laying on my sofa bed, reclining, with the lovely smells churning out, the natural lighting, and my fountain. And I've just tried to make it what I call a therapeutic, calming environment. So that's just a few of the things that I've done that I've found helpful. So for those of you that asked, I hope you found that interesting. Maybe you would like to try and do some of those things yourself in your own room. So that's that. For those that asked. Okay, so that's that part of this video. So what's my special announcement? I thought long and hard about putting this out there, but I am going to. And I know a couple of you have wanted me to do something like this, or put it to me that you think it would be something I should look into. So I am going to put this out there. I get requests, and I'm looking at some of your emails now, so today's no different. I get requests from many of you asking if you can contact me on a one-to-one basis for advice, help, or just to talk. Sometimes it's just to talk in a way of support with someone that's been where a lot of you are and has come out the other side. So some of you have found it helpful, or find it helpful, to talk to someone such as myself who have been where you've been and have come out the other side. So a lot of you ask me if I can talk one-on-one with you. Now, I have spoken, and I can understand why, because tinnitus can be a very emotional thing to talk about, and sometimes it's easier to talk to someone such as myself in a more private fashion. So I do understand why people would be asking me this. And I have spoken to many of you on the phone, and recently I have been having video calls via WhatsApp with a few of you. Hello Kathy, by the way. I know you're one of the people who have been wanting me, or giving me a little bit of a push, saying this is something I should do and what I'm going to be talking about. So I have listened to what you've said, and that's why I'm doing this video tonight. So I'm going to be talking about what you've wanted me to do. And further on, aside from the phone calls and video calls I've done with some of you, I've actually met a couple of you. Pete, it was great to meet you. I'm happy you're doing so much better than when we first spoke, and I'm happy that I've partly helped you to get to where you are now. So it was great to meet you. But all this has always only been on a very limited basis when I've had time. what with work and looking after my autistic son Aaron and everything else, so it's been very limited. However, if you watched my last video, you may have heard me say that I am actually looking now for a career change, and it makes sense at this time to maybe try and go into something I'm passionate about and have a real interest in. And how can I put this? So the obvious choice that comes to me, the obvious vocation, or without trying to sound too zen about it, the obvious calling that I feel, for me, I feel, is helping and supporting people with tinnitus. So what I'm looking to do, maybe, if there's enough interest, for those who feel they would like to speak to me on a one-to-one basis, is doing Skype or WhatsApp sessions, call it counselling sessions if you like, but really it's just me trying to help in a more professional manner. Now, as I said, I have already been doing phone calls and met with a couple of you just to try and help. But if I did go ahead with something like this, I would be looking at this as like a paid-for service. I haven't set anything up. I'm looking to have something set up probably within the next 2 weeks. I've got someone installing a webcam for me. I'm not going to try and do it because myself and technology, we do not like each other very much. So I'm going to get someone to do that for me because I just find that technology doesn't work. But if any of you think this is something you may be interested in, let me know. Having said all of that, if this idea doesn't take fruition and I don't go ahead with it, I will continue. This is what I wanted to get out there when I'm making this video. Those of you that I have been talking to on a one-to-one basis and doing the video calls with phone calls, and a couple of you I do meet sometimes, see how you're doing, that won't change. Okay, so please don't worry. If you're one of the people I have been talking to, that's not going to change. Okay, so please don't worry if you're one of those. It's just an idea at this point. A couple of you have been wanting me to, or said that I should think about doing something like this, and I haven't thought long and hard about it. Like I say, Kathy, you've been pushing me for a while to do something like this, and Häagen-Dazs, Mr. Ice Cream, you've been wanting me to do this for a while, so this is what I'm going to try and do. Okay, so because I never started this channel as a business venture, I've never tried to monetize anything. It's just kind of evolved. Time has moved on. It's kind of evolved, and life seems to have led me to where this now feels it may be time to try and do something I'm passionate about going into as a new career. Also, now that I do have some time, I am looking at cranial sacral therapy training, as this really helped me. You've heard about me talk about this, and I am looking at going on a course to become qualified for cranial therapy. But regardless of any of this, what I've been talking about, regardless of this, while I am still having people tell me my channel is helping and has helped them, I will still be here. It's just an idea that other people have been saying to me. Well, I have thought about it myself, but other people have said to me, yes, Aid, it's a good idea, it's something that you should do. So I am going to try and make this my vocation. But let me know what you think. Okay, my next video will be a Q&A, and I'm going to be talking about diet again. I'm looking at some of your emails now, as it does seem that there's a lot of questions still about that. I know there's other YouTube channels that really do deal with diet, but a lot of you are still writing to me about diet, as some of you don't seem to be very happy about what's being put out there, and you're confused and you just want my take on it. So I will address that again, as well as some other questions that you've sent me. So I think that is it for tonight on this video. Best wishes to you all, and I will see you all again soon. Bye bye.